What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the weekly reviews. I hope you're enjoying the series, and here we go for another one. As I always say, when you come to these videos, if you're enjoying them, please pop a like. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and if you haven't turned on notifications, get those notifications turned on. So last week was a very good week. We had some very good moves, we had some slow moving markets, and we had some markets that continued moving in the direction of last week, which was slightly unexpected, but that's how the market moves. And we're looking this week at a weaker dollar, so we'll see if that continues forward through to next week. But without further ado, let's get on and analyze some charts. So here we're looking at the dollar index. We can see from last week that the market finally broke its trend line to the upside, and now we can see a shift in momentum back to the downside. With this market structure, I'm seeing very good lower highs, lower lows forming on this market, and I'm starting to see a lower high form now. I'm not sure if this is going to be the lower high, but I definitely can see that there's more bearish sentiment than there is actually bullish sentiment. So moving forward to next week, I am expecting more of dollar weakness unless something drastic happened over the weekend that I don't know about, but I'm expecting to see this market going down. That means for the correlations with the other pairs, I'm expecting to see dollar weakness versus the pound, versus the yen, etc., etc. So as we go through the rest of the analysis, we'll bear that in mind to see what happens with these markets. So the first pair that we'll take a look at is pound USD. Now, as I said, there were some slow moving markets last week, and even though we had a weaker dollar, we still didn't get a massive movement out of the pound. Now, that's probably due to the Brexit talks, but as you know, if you are worried about trading the pound, then I certainly would be avoiding this pair altogether, simply because of the ups and downs and all the madness that's going on. Very hard to predict what's happening with this pair. Now, if I'm looking at this market with a clear perspective, I can clearly see that the market's moving sideways. We have more of an impulse move to the upside, indicating bullish pressure, but immediately after the breakout of this consolidation, we've had a break back into the structure. Not only have we had a breakout to the upside, but we've also seen breakouts to the downside. With this market, I would say it's fairly unclear which direction it's going. I would suspect more to see this market go up than I would down, and for that reason, this is how I'll draw my levels. I'll identify that this as a major level in the market. I'm not taking into account any of this information here, simply because we've had two false breakouts, break back into the structure, so we can see that the real level on this market is in and around this level. So with this structure, what I'll be looking for is to see how price reacts to this level, see if we have a continuation up, and if not, see if we can finally break this previous high in this structure, making a new higher high, and then I'll be looking to take my buys once I get the confirmation. The next pair that I'll take a look at is gold. Now, as I said, we've had a dollar weakness, so that's the reason we've seen gold go up. We can see the structure is clear. So for that reason, I'll be mindful of not taking any sells just yet until I get a true reversal in the market. Bearing in mind that we have a major resistance level here where price is failing to break above. If I'm going to take sells on this market, I'm looking for price to come back to a major level again, bounce off of this level, give me confirmation, and then potentially take the market back to the upside. And for your safer buyers on this market, I'm just looking for gold to break this high and then come back for a retest continuation. This is how I see gold up moving forward next week. The next pair that we'll take a look at is Euro USD. Again, dollar weakness. We see this market moving up to the upside. What does that mean for me? Well, personally, I'm looking for buys only. Again, we can see an area in the market where price is failing to push above. So for safe buys, I'm simply just going to be waiting for price to break structure, retest, and continue up. Based on the dollar weakness and the structure of both gold and Euro USD, I should suspect that the market should go up. If the market starts to reverse on me, then I'm going to wait patiently for a reversal. Wait for price to come back for a double top, making new lower lows, lower highs, and then I'll look to enter the market. For now, I'm looking for buys on Euro USD. The next pair we'll take a look at is Aussie Dollar USD. Now, as I said, we didn't have much movement from this pair here and Pound USD, but we can see that there's a bullish sentiment in this market. However, we have come to a major level where price is actually stalled at. So for continued buys on this market, again, making sure that I'm on the right side of momentum, I'm going to be waiting for price to break this structure, retest this structure, and then look for a continuation back to the upside. If I start to see price showing a resistance at this level, I'll wait for price to come back for double bottoms, lower highs, and then I'll look to sell the market only once I have evidence and confirmation. For now, this structure to me is fairly bullish. The next pair we'll take a look at is New Zealand Dollar USD. Now we can clearly see that the New Zealand dollar clearly is much stronger than the dollar at the moment, and I can see this market structure pushing to the upside. Just bear in mind, we are at a major level in the market, not to look for sells because we don't want to sell into bullish structure. If we are going to resist this level, then again, I'm looking for double tops, lower highs, and then I'm looking to sell the market. For continued buys on this market, I'm looking for price to break the structure, retest the structure, continue up. Again, with the sentiment of the dollar, I'm looking to see this market go up moving forward next week. The next pair we'll take a look at is USD Cad. Again, this falls in line with pound and a few of the other pairs that didn't move too well last week. We can see that obviously the dollar has extended itself. We can see massive bearish pressure in this market, meaning that CAD strength should be stepping into the market slowly but surely. We have broken a previous structural low in this market and we have resisted that for about 12 hours. What I want to see on this market structure is price leave this level to make me feel confident that there's bearish pressure, come back for a double top. Again, lower high, continuation of this structure. And this is how I see USD CAD, bearish. The next pair we'll take a look at is oil. Now, this is one of the pairs that I expected price to go up last week. But as you can see on this market structure, it's continued to go down. Now, I see this market as very, very overextended. I'm starting to see bullish pressure in this market, higher lows in this market. So I personally would like to see oil go up. For that reason, any buy opportunities that I get next week on oil, I would look to jump in. Any sell opportunities, I'm going to absolutely ignore. The next pair we'll take a look at is Aussie Dollar Cad. Now, as you can clearly see, this market structure is pushing to the upside. We are at a major level in the market where price is starting to show some sort of resistance. For continued buys, I'm just going to wait for a clean break, close above the structure, retest, continuation. And for sells, I'm going to allow for price to give me a true bearish direction, look for a double top, lower high, and then look to sell this market. Again, this is a game of patience, and you guys must remember that we have to allow the setups to come to us and not us chase the setups. The next pair we'll take a look at is Pound JPY. Now, I was expecting this market to go up last week, but we can see that it has continued to go down. Not majorly, but we have broken the major level in the market. We have retested this level in the market, and now we're at a major low. Personally, I still see this market reversing as it's very overextended, but for continued sells, just to be on the safe side, I'm waiting for a clean break close below. And then for buys, I'm looking for price to continue up, retest this structure in and around this level, and then continue up. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to retest this level perfectly, but as long as we get strong bullish presence in the market with candles closed and above structure, then I'll be looking for my retest. The next pair we'll take a look at is Euro Yen. Now, we expected this market also to go up last week. We can see it has continued to go down. Last week, we expected it to go down. This week, we expected it to go up a little bit. Now, I can see this market is still pretty bearish. For that reason, what I'm waiting for is just for the major structural lows to be broken, because the range from here to here does not warrant me to get into a trade or even get a safe entry or risk management. So I'm waiting for price to break, close below this structure here. And then for buys, I will just see price breaking above this level. If we keep it simple, we can see this is in a consolidating range in market at the moment. Price does not have a clear directional bias, so I'll be waiting for price to break, close, retest, and then continue, or for a break, close, retest, and continue of this structure. The next pair we'll take a look at is UJ. Now, last week I said that I wasn't too sure about this market structure, but as we can clearly see, price is indicated to us a strong break, close below structure. We have beautiful levels here in the market we can sell. We have a beautiful break and close below structure. We have a nice push phase in the market, an area in the market where price was indicating to us for about 16 hours that it was not going up. And then from these levels here, you had a nice range to the downside of about 70 pips to take advantage of. But I will also bear in mind that price has attempted to break close below this previous low and failed to do so. For that reason, I'll be looking to see if the bulls are taken over the market for a break, retest, continuation, or for continued bearish pressure, a break, retest, and continuation in this direction. The reason why I'm waiting for the breaks is because I need to get the true directional bias, which is momentum. And once I get momentum and I see that either the bulls or bears are in control, then I will look for the criteria that I look for as part of my strategy. The next pair we'll take a look at is Euro Aussie Dollar. As you can clearly see, this market structure is pretty messy, to be honest with you. After we was in a bull run and we failed to make a new higher high after attempting to do this on 2 occasions, price then showed evidence of bearish pressure breaking the structure and then eventually heading into a second consolidation. After the breakout of that consolidation, we did have a higher low form, a new higher high form, and then immediately after that, we've just had significant bearish pressure to the downside. Bearish sentiment is obviously clear in this market. in terms of key levels, I don't really see any. And if I start to fabricate levels, then what will end up happening is I'll pop one here, I'll pop one here, I'll pop one here, I'll pop one here, pop one here, and then things become extremely messy. So with this market structure, seeing as I don't have a true directional bias or structure to work with, for me it's best that I leave this one alone. The next pair we'll take a look at is Euro Pound. Now the battle of the Euro and the Pound has been pretty intense over the last few weeks. We can see that obviously the Euro has been trying to push higher than this market, failing to do so. And we can clearly see it's tried to push lower the pound, but failed to do so. We're trapped in this consolidation on this market. It is pretty clean. So just remember, if you're selling consolidations, you sell high, buy low, or you're looking for price to show a higher low formation to indicate bullish pressure, or a lower high formation to indicate bearish pressure. In terms of trading this structure, would I personally do it? Probably not. What am I seeing at the moment? Both bulls and bears fighting. So we could either be in a distribution or accumulation phase where this market will pop to the upside or pop to the downside. I again would say stay away from this market, and just bear in mind that if you do plan to trade it, you're selling high, buying low. Final pair we'll take a look at is Euro Cad. Now after this strong break of this trend line to the downside, we can see strong bullish pressure in the market. Price has come back to a major higher low, and we can see it's rejected that level. And what I would want to see on this market for continued bull bias is a break, retest, continuation of this market structure. And if price is going to continue with this pressure at this level here, I want to see price leave this level, come back for a double top, lower high, and then look to sell the market in this fashion. So that's 15 pairs that we've gone over. Very quick and simple. I don't want to waste too much time. I just gave you my opinion on the markets. Remember, these are not signals, guys. This is just my opinion. I wish everybody a great trading week moving forward to next week, and we'll catch you on the next video.